Call Halayimla, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hopeful 144 and the one third of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of great millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanai, and this will be titled Drunk Off the Wine. Okay? And that wine that we're going into, it's not a physical drink, it's a spiritual intoxication, okay? Of false doctrine, of idolatry, okay? Mainly, once again, false doctrine. And what you're looking at is a product of this Babylonian spiritual Babylon, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, a product of that wine, that false that intaking of backwards living. Okay, this Christmas is an indoctrination that does not belong to our people. And you're looking at what appears to be two Judites, or at least Israelites of the 12 tribes, and they could be of another nationality, but on the outside, their appearance would you would assume they'd be of Judah, Benjamin, or whatnot. Okay, nevertheless, what are they partaking in? Adultery, sitting there comfortably thinking that all is well when it's actually all bad. Okay, once again, this is going to be drunk off the wine, not a glass of wine, but the philosophies that come along with living outside the law, statutes, and commandments, with living outside the understanding of we're Yasharala. We're not African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, okay, you name it, Puerto Riches. All of these things we're not. We are the 12 tribes. If your father goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're of his lineage, your seed, okay? The seed line, all right? The true Israelites, not those posers over in our land pretending to be, led by a government such as BB Ben, not a Jew, okay? Or BB Jew you not, all right? BB Born Milkowski, okay? His people are Israeli. They're not our people. Some of our people dwell amongst them, look like them, though those are referred to as the speckled birds, but their overall presence, they're not our people, okay? So let's get it. So right by now, in 2025, majority of us, even in Christianity, know that this is a false sense. Okay, it's Christians that tell you they know who the world so ignorantly calls JC. Yahweh Shai was not born in the winter. Okay, so and the scriptures do not speak of him born in the winter. Yet they put on this falsified this what is it tradition that's only going to lead you to death, okay? And the ultimately the Christmas tree goes back to Nimrod's son, and it's actually the worship of a penis, just like putting a tie, or like the I don't want to say the wrong word, but the pyramid shaped obelisks. I want to say those are buildings or whatnot that are shaped tall and straight up to the with the point. Those are all representations of and symbolic of a penis. Okay, so that's what that tree stands for. And nevertheless, it's an idol. But I don't want Ratazah. We'll get to it. This is Micah chapter 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart. Arise ye, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. Of course, that includes you speckled birds that look like every other nation, but your father's seed, his heritage comes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. And definitely not Amalek, which is of Esau, and not of any other nation. Okay, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. What's rest? A place where you don't have to worry. This is there a place in the United? And is there a place on earth right now where Jacob, who is Israel, Yasharallah, does not have to worry, arrest? No, there's no such thing right now. Okay, such as because it is polluted. How is it polluted? Once again, through this wines, through its wicked philosophies, okay? Wicked ways of living that go contradictive to the law, statutes, and commandments that were given to us through Yahweh, through the hands of Moses. All right, for who? For his children, okay? The 12 tribes of Yasharallah. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Look around. Needless to I say, what's mainly taking place with the northern tribe, and even the southern tribe is going through it. Yet the news is not putting it out there as much. I'm talking over here, spiritual Babylon, and in other nations too. Are they doing this roundup of you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics? We are the number one target. But over here in spiritual Babylon, spiritual Egypt, ICE, okay, going ham on our northern tribe. And I'm a Gadite, so our northern tribe, okay? I'm gonna read this one more time. Arise ye and depart. Now, how are we gonna depart? Where are we gonna go? Once again, we don't have a land that belongs to us. Okay, we don't have a military that's gonna protect us. Depart is mentally departing, not staying in this stuck fashion, thinking that all is good, all is jolly right now, all is happy right now, you know? When reality is we're on the verge of Jacob's trouble, okay? Salakia, reading down. If a man walking in the spirit of falsehood, that's right, do lie. And the scriptures said there will be more false prophets than the true prophets. And when I say prophets, I'm speaking on the behalf of those in the know that we're Yasharallah. Okay, the falsified, not the men that I give double honors to, not the camp that I acknowledge as my teachers, starting at the House of Great Millstone and like-minded man. No, we talking about these other portrayers of teachers, IUIC, okay, seeking after everything but the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and everything but the actual will for you to get out here, do this work, warn the people, so we can wrap this up and get out of here. No, they're interested in longevity, whatever that means, okay? And you got people like Sakari, just the different groups that are seeking more fame than the actual task at hand, which is to preach Yahweh Bashem Yahushua as our salvation. Okay, and ultimately Yasharallah will be set up as the kings of this earth. Okay, and hopefully sooner than later, seeing that all the signs are coming forth. Okay, if a man walking in his spirit, Salakia, if a man walking in the spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto you thee of wine and of strong drink. Once again, what does wine and strong drink do? Relax you, make you feel good, okay? Make you feel rested, all right? And once again, this wine and strong drink is not literally telling you you're gonna sip on a drink. It's telling you that feel good doctrine. He shall even be the prophet of these people. Now, let me back this up. We're going to go to Bible comparisons. This is Micah 2 and 11. I liked this NLT. Suppose a prophet full of lies. And once again, the scriptures speak that there will be more false prophets than the real prophets. And once again, I was telling you about the prophets of Yasharallah, not alone the Christianity part of it, and then your so-called Muslim part of it. Are people that are still trapped in that? No, I'm talking about the prophets that are actually supposed to be now teaching you the truth. All right, that bear understanding but won't bring it to you. Suppose a prophet full of lies will say to you, I'll preach to you the joys of wine and alcohol. That's just the kind of prophet you would like. Okay, who would like? These people. They don't want to be told that Christmas is not a part of our heritage. They don't want to be told that stop celebrating these holidays. Okay, not at all. All right, they're in tune with what's going on right now, and they want it to continue. Look familiar? All right. Elon Musk dresses up as the devil. Who took offense to this? Other than the true men serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Anybody else would have said, "Oh, that's just a neat costume for the 31st of December, or Salakia for the 31st of October. That's just a neat costume." Why you hating on him? Okay, because once again, this is not our heritage, okay? This is not how our people ought to act. So, he is of those wicked people, but I'm just giving an example. Our people do the same thing. You so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics got dressed up this year in the code, took your kids trick or trunk at the church, at the whorehouse. I rode past a whole whorehouse full of children and just asked the Lord to send curses upon all of them. Okay, I mean straight up. Okay, because ultimately this is where we're headed right here. This is the book of Revelations 18, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. And he cried with a mighty, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. What is Babylon the Great? Spiritual Babylon over here in the United States of America. Okay, it's fallen. It's fallen, and it's become the habitations of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And hey, I'm gonna say this again. Huh. Both of these are perfect examples. That's a defiled spirit, because if you in the know, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't celebrate any of this. Not alone go as far as to have your house decked up, looking that way. Okay. And then once again to participate in customs such as this. All right. So right to the point right there. Okay. For all nations have drunk of the wine. There's that wine again, the philosophies, the ways, the thinking, the wicked way of thinking of this place. That's contradictory to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but only given to you, Jacob, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, okay? Yasharallah, he Prince of Power, okay? For all the nations have drunk of her wine. For all the nations have drunk of the wine, of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. All of the nations, okay, through merchants, okay, it says it right here. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. How long though? How long will Yahweh Bashim Yahushua allow that to continue? Because we're to the end of this place, okay? Now, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people. Now, this come out of her is when the Lord ultimately comes here with them, with those chariots, with the hosts, with the army, okay? Shooting those lasers. Also, as the ICBMs, those intercontinental ballistic missiles rain down, literally rain down on this place, the Lord is telling his elect, starting with the 144,000 plus the one third. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And once again, those plagues are those ICBM, those missiles that will be shot across the world, okay? And also those concentrated lasers, and ultimately the sword coming from wherever direction, the famine, you know, the Lord's punishment. All right. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua have remembered her iniquities. Okay. And if it's no mystery, if you paying attention, if you look at any news these days, her sins are continuously. Okay. Once again, this place is, like Michael said, it's polluted. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah 31 and 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Okay, and this is spiritual Egypt. Once again, United States of America, and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many. And that goes into the military complex right there. Thinking that these tanks and these missiles and these fighter jets and all of the water that we got surrounding us, all of these are going to be a haven, okay, against the enemy. All right, because they are many, and horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Yasharallah of Israel, neither seek Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and I'm gonna give you an example of that mentality. Okay, fair use, fair use. This is strictly for educational purposes. I am not selling a product.
Appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician.
So
You're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No,
now, this COON, Senator Scott, reject, he covers all the bases of how the men of Yasharallah are not supposed to appear. Bald faced, bald headed, once again, penis around his neck, shucking and jiving, cheesing. Now, he just loves this Edomite who is a known predator, known thief, okay, cheater, all right, in every category, all right, the wicked, okay, that's who he just loves, all right, and also what supposedly the leader of the free world, but we know he's a puppet. But that's who Senator Scott wants to hatch his what do you say, hatch on to, as if you was a truck pulling a boat or whatever. That's what he wants to hatch his faith onto. This wickedness, a spiritual Babylon. And you look up Senator Scott and see some of the craziness that's come out of this man's mouth, despite being rejected by Trump the whole time, because Trump won't even pick up the phone for this fool. Okay, Scott got to see Trump going down the street and then run out the house and try to chase down the whole cavalry and see if he could jump on the back of it. That's how bad he is. Okay. And that's how unwanted he is. Okay. So once again, this is not our rest. Okay. This is Isaiah 3 and 1. Slakia, Isaiah 31, verse 2. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will rise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Okay? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is definitely ready for this. Yahweh Shai is definitely him and Michael. The angels are prepared. You know they're right now they're visiting this earth that the Lord has created. Okay, and we're seeing signs. Okay, now the Egyptians are man and not God, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. Okay, and ultimately, you know those tanks are made of all kind of minerals or all kind of metals and whatnot. But once again, they're not gods. Okay, when Yahweh Bashim Yahshua shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is upon shall fall down, and they shall fail together. Okay, so no matter the situation you're in, if you partake in this, you're gonna be what? Hey, what does the scripture say? Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Let's get this in the NIV. No, in the NLT. For once again, um, Isaiah 31, verse 2, or Salaki, is it verse 2? No, verse 3. In the NLT, for those Egyptians, and these Egyptians are speaking of your modern Edomites, okay? Edom, the self proclaimed white man, okay? This is spiritual Egyptians. For these Egyptians are mere human, not God. Their horses are pony flesh, not mighty spirits. When Yahweh Shem Shai right, rises his fist against them, those who help will stumble, and those being helped will fall. Those being helped, hello, your handouts, you know what I'm saying? Your the what we depend on here over in spiritual Babylon shall fall. They will all fall down and die together. And that's a promise from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay? He is not for those who are not for him. So once again, woe to them. Take this seriously. Woe to them who go down to Egypt for help, being spiritual Babylon, okay? United States of America, all right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The things that have been is that which shall be, okay? And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Now, I brought that out for this.
The best of Greek, like that with more conviction and clarity, and also reinforce that we're about to walk into the 250th anniversary of the best of Greek democracy in the Roman Republic. This historic values of our founding fathers in 2026. And
Okay, in 2026 will be 250th anniversary of this wicked uh demonic rulership. Okay? And he's bragging about it. Now, this is supposed to be the opposition of the Republicans, the Democrat, right? Look, they're all playing for the same dirty game. Listen to this.
it's all on the line. And so the best of Greek, like that with more conviction and clarity, and also reinforce that we're about to walk into the 250th anniversary of the best of Greek democracy.
Rome Greek democracy. Let's get it. Okay. So you got the Republicans and Democrats over here opposing to be at opposition against each other when basically they're two wings of the same disgusting, filthy, dirty eagle. Okay. So what did we have in Rome back in the day? We had the
Patrician.
patrician, a member of a long established wealthy family. Okay, that was one side.
Plebeian.
Plebeian, a member of a lower social class. So your prescription and your plebeian was back then posing as two sides that were opposition. They gave the people a choice and a say so when there never was. Okay, when it was all dictated under secret rulership. Okay, only falsely giving the people a false sense of having some control of what's going on. So ultimately, this is what Galvin Newscomb, that's what Trump calls him, is saying to the people right here that this is the best of that society, which we know ultimately failed, okay, and came to its demise from sexual immorality, um, greed, you know. This is the book of Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Okay, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. So all that, once again, that we're showing you and that we're teaching you is this is already written. Okay, and once again, I'm gonna say this, declaring the end from the beginning. Who's doing that? And from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done. Okay, and see, I like that because people always want to refer to these scriptures as an ancient book, an ancient. This book is living. And another thing you hear, I've read the Bible. Well, if you're not reading it today, you don't have insight because this book is living waters leading up to what? To the very end. It says it, okay? Declaring the end from the beginning. So how are you going to say that this book is ancient when it's literally breathing life? It's the only book. It's the only, you look up prophecy and this book is going to pop up in your Google search, okay? Declaring the end from the beginning, all right? So Yahweh Shai had this along with his elect from the beginning, okay? And from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, once again, written in these scriptures. So don't come telling me that this is an ancient book. Oh, Salakia, man wrote that book. Man wrote every book, dummy, okay? Every philosophy you have. Saying, my cancel, who's cancel? Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, shall stand, and I will do all my pleasures. Now, when he says declaring the end from the beginning, how is that being done? This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So you better pay attention when you hear the prophets speaking, okay? Because that's your only chance of salvation. You're not going to get it for yourself. You're not going to pick up this Bible and teach yourself what is written in this book. No man can, okay? No man can. Once again, surely Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, who do what in exchange? They teach, they raise up other prophets. Okay, they water, they plant the seed, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua waters it. Okay, and brings forth the growth. And that's if he's dealing with you. If he's not, you'll wither away. Okay, just like any other seed that is not properly cultivated. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, oh virgin daughter. Now, does that not make it clear? We had a Babylon. This is the old virgin daughter of Babylon. Okay, don't get it confused. This is not ancient talk. This is new speak. Come down and sit in the dust, oh virgin daughter of Babylon, United States of America. Okay, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Now, come on, this nation, okay? The height of society at one point. Now we watching the downfall come quickly in front of our face, okay? Quickly, all right? And let me give you an example. Okay, hold on, I'm jumping the gun. We're gonna skip down here. Hebrew hopscotch, as Vocab Malone would say, which we know is precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. Okay, that's necessary to learn. All right, so we're going down to verse 11, Isaiah 47, verse 11, and that was roughly paraphrasing Salakia. Therefore, shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, okay? And once again, when them chariots hit, they're not gonna be truthful with you, All right, and these fanners and whatnot, the fanners, the foreigners, the Yahweh Basim Shah is planted here to ultimately tear this place down. And when mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Okay, so you're gonna once again, the book of Jeremiah 30, verse 6, Elias, have you ever seen a man holding his stomach like a woman? Okay, then why do I see every man bend over like he's pregnant? Okay, bend over like he got pregnant pains. And that's definitely roughly paraphrasing, but once again, that's in Jeremiah 36. Read up on it, for it's the time of Jacob's trouble. And Jacob's trouble is the time of the world. So if it's named Jacob's trouble, that should definitely be a warning to you, Yasharala, who the world refers to as Israel. Okay, who came from what? The loins of Jacob, all 12 tribes. Okay. Okay. Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of the sorcerers. And now let me give you an example of these multitudes of sorcerers. Okay. Here's one, believe it or not. Look at that face. Fox News. Look at that. You're going to tell me that's natural? Huh. Where have I seen that before? Bam. Devil's advocate. Okay. You might as well look. You might as well be looking at the same picture. That's not good enough for you. Stand now with your enchantments. And hold on, while I got this up, I didn't get it as directly as I like to. Media,
Media.
the means of mass communications. Okay, and now what is our media giving us? Fox News alone has been sued for being nothing but liars, to the point where they took the $1 billion lawsuit and said, we're going to keep doing it. Okay. And then they just said, okay, we're not the news, we're entertainment. But guess what? The idiots faithfully turning into us see us as the news. Okay. So we're not done. Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorcerers, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, be thou thou shalt be able to profit. If so, be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in thy multitude of thy counsel. Let now the astrologers, let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly progn- uh, pro- prognosticators stand up and save thee from this thing that shall come upon thee. Now let me give you an example. You think they're not? Here you go. Proof. I'll never let this go. World Economic Forum. World Evil Forum. Okay? World Evil Forum. Look at that. Once again, if you don't know, this took place right after the CV, the CV-19. They on the stage in 2021 with this witch. She's blowing in their face, doing all type of enchantments on the stage. Who was they? The elite. At least the representation of the elite, higher than the government that sits in your government. Those people, okay? And all the world leaders support this, by the way. All right. So let me read that 13 one more. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsel, okay? Because they see the end ultimately coming. They know Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is coming back with the host. They see him. They see him. That Atlas, that I3 Atlas, they keep saying it's changing sizes, speeds, colors, directions, and then they keep saying, no, it's a comic. We think it's a no. They know who that is. They know what's coming. They know what's coming. Ultimately, Yahweh Shai and the host is coming. Okay, the host and the mighty angel Michael, they're coming. The host army, all right, to put work in on this place. Okay. Thou art weary and thy multitudes of thy counsel. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, and the monthly Prog, prog, prognicate, prognosticators. I can normally say that, Salakia. Stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. All right. Now I'm going back up to finish this off, and I pray that this was edifying to the body. We're gonna go back up to verse 2. Okay. Take thy millstone and grind meal, uncover thy locks, and that's what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has done. Make bare thy leg. And how has he done this? By showing you all the wickedness and folly. Remember the man of perdition? We got all this pedophilia, okay? Pedophilia for first of all, just all of this, okay? Going on around her, thieving, land grabbing, straight up this murder of our people. You know, we're being treated unwrongfully, okay? Bottom line. All right. The evil man has been exposed. Make bare thy leg, uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers. Okay. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. And that's happening right now, all the way to the top. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. This is Yahweh Shai speaking. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai speaking. And I will not meet thee as a man. Does that sound like it's going to be a good time when the Lord pops up on the scene? Like all this wickedness and nastiness is going to stop and everybody's going to stop what they're doing and start hugging each other and remember to love? No, this place is set for judgment, discipline, destruction. Look, Isaiah 47:4. As for the Redeemer, who is that? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai of host. What's that host going to? That is Tazabua. That's not Shah. That's Tazah. Tazabua. Tazabua.
Strong's H, 6635. Sava.
Yep.
Sava.
Army, war, warfare, host, army, host. Okay, it says it all through the scriptures. I just wanted to get that for you if you didn't understand. As for our Redeemer, who's Redeemer? Yasharallah, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua of host of armies is his name, the Holy One of Israel. And what did he promise what did he promise this wicked world? I will not meet thee as a man. Okay? And with that, I pray that this was edifying to the body. Shalom.